Hi everybody, it's Andrea, aka Violet Kitty 411, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been engaging with comments, likes, and subscribing. I do appreciate it so much as we enjoy the #1 game in the Sims franchise, The Sims 2. Now we are back in Belladonna Cove, currently redesigning the houses. Then I'll move on to the apartments and then finally the bin families. Just to remind you, I was asking, do you want me to just redesign individual apartments or the entire lot? We're really leaning more towards entire lots. And which apartment or house would you like to see any of the bin families? We've got the Oldies, the Gavigans, and the Newsons, who are currently in the bin family for Belladonna Cove, the neighborhood that ships with apartment life. Now it is currently raining. That's because it was raining in the Cordial's house when last we left them. Today we have the Green household as our clients. Gabriel has known Chastity since elementary school. Now that they are adults, they've moved to Belladonna Cove and become roommates. Gabriel is so busy trying to learn everything there is to learn that he hasn't noticed that Chastity has become a bit of a wild woman. Will she try to use her wild ways on him? Let's go check him out. So here are our clients. Hand him a book and he'll bury himself in it because he's never been interested in a formal career because he's too busy learning. Chastity has always been able to convince him to put down the book and dance. And here we have Chastity. The only book Chastity is interested in is the Book of Love. Her job as an executive assistant satisfies her drive for success and gives her plenty of opportunity for liaison. Chastity just loves love. Now, in my not so humble opinion, these two are both improperly assigned, particularly Chastity, who I would definitely assign as a family sim, and Gabe probably would be a good family sim as well, but he's fine as a knowledge sim. But if we were to reassign her to family where she clearly belongs, I bet that their negative bolt would become at least a 1, if not a 2 bolt almost instantly. So anyway, they are currently living in what appears to be a warehouse and actually very much of a garage. In fact, since I said that, let me tell you, they, in addition to the clutter around the house that indicates garage type stuff, both of them actually have the tinkering hobby as their predestined hobby. And Chastity is actually dressed as a motorhead. So I think we're definitely going to lean in towards that with the redesign, is that we will create this to be a garage of sorts. It is currently like an abandoned warehouse. On the second level, we have their living space, and they also have a rooftop space. Over here we've got junker cars and all sorts of clutter. So yeah, this is definitely very, very industrial, and we're definitely going to use that as our inspiration. But I don't think they have anything I need to save around here, so I will double check just to make sure. They have actually used quite a few elements that I would not normally use, such as the ductwork and the vents and things like that. Not that I have anything against them, I just don't think about it when I'm doing designs and things like that, but I definitely like it, so I'm going to try to remember to use that if they don't stay when I evict. Now clearly this is actually Chastity's room because we've got the feminine colors here. This is Gabe's room. This is more masculine. So we've got what, 1.5 baths, and yeah, as a matter of fact, appropriately sized bathrooms. So that's kind of nice. And so it's overall not a terrible build, but it definitely has things we could improve. So we will find ways to do that. Let's go ahead and evict them and get started. Okay, so here we are in the lot, and I do definitely need to adjust the lot. I have to move it 3 spaces back. So I will definitely, the first thing we got to do is get rid of all of the fencing around. Come on, as soon as I can. There we go. Fence, 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 fence. We will put the fence back in, but we have to get rid of it for now. And I also have to get rid of that terrain paint. Otherwise, it will become problematic because I can't get rid of terrain paint after the fact. So yeah, we'll go ahead and find our terrain paint, put it on there, and just erase it all. There we go. It never happened. There we go. Let's see, did we have some time? All right. Okay, so there's that, and obviously we're going to deconstruct, but I am going to actually leave a lot of the flooring simply because I feel like that adds something. I just want to make sure that I use the flooring. I am conflicted on the stairs, what I'm planning to do with as far as elevation, because you know how much I love the spiral stairs and how much I love to stack the spiral stairs. But at the same time, I really kind of like this staircase. So I'm going to leave it. We do have our ductwork. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave that particular wall because I actually want a wall there anyway. But we do have some stuff that's going to be happening here. And I don't know what possessed somebody to put a thatched roof, a thatched awning on there. That's just kind of ridiculous for the build, for the location. It's definitely not something that I would have chosen, not even a little bit. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that. And I will be back after I make the appropriate lot adjustments. Okay, so after moving the lot back 3 spaces, I do have this available, and we will just go ahead and add this back in, right like that. Now, 3 for 3, I have done 3 belladonna houses so far, and so far, all 3 of them, I could not remove the front door or a door because they were currently being used even after evicting the people. So not a problem. All we have to do is use move objects on and delete it that way. But yeah, that's 3 for 3, and I'm actually kind of surprised. I was going to delete the door anyway, but there's that. And now of course we will go ahead and add that, and I think the best one to do would be this right there. Let's also move this bad boy right there. And we will do the extension right like that. And since we do have the you got muscle, and I mean, let's just keep it. All right, we're probably not going to do the red, but that just was the first one. And I'm really happy that the architectural elements of both the venting as well as these pipes did stay, because I wouldn't have wanted to have to figure that out. I've literally never used them before, mostly because I just don't think about it, but it does add something to this build, so I'm glad it's there. And we do need to actually, ooh, this one stayed too. We also need to add that front door back right like that was, and that was black. Ooh, we've got to figure that out because it's not going to work, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. Not a problem. Okay, no problem. I did figure out the issue. One was that I actually had this moved over 1 space, plus actually this vent up here technically prevented it. Not a problem though. I'm sure that's not going to be an issue, and we're just going to leave it right like that. Now, I was legitimately not thinking of this build when I did my Pleasant View condos design, but it's the same fencing I used for the Pleasantville condos, so hey, great minds think alike, right? There we go. Well, you know, we know what we think of Max's builders as a general rule, so not great minds, but whatever. Now, I'm not certain what flooring I want throughout the home, but in what is obviously going to be the garage, ooh, that actually takes, okay, that's fine. What's going to be the garage, I do want some concrete, the without a grout, or maybe do we want this? That's way too much pattern. So we will find something, because yeah, I mean, that's not a guarantee of what I'm gonna keep, but yeah, we want something definitely much more dirty and dingy and things like that. Daisy says hello. Okay, I really do like this staircase. It does add something, but it also takes a lot of space. So I am going to go ahead and just get rid of it as... Okay, we have to use the stage. There we go. Okay, hold it. Let's get rid of that railing. And we will get rid of this stage. There we go, because that's taking quite a bit of space, and we like this as well. We will just go ahead and turn that around, page down, put it right there. Perfect. And I'm actually going to enclose that like we like to do. And I'm also going to create a bathroom there. There was one there anyway, so we may as well just go ahead and use it. They are both tinkerers, so we're gonna have them have a tinkery kind of a home. You know, it's like they may as well. And I really feel that chances are good, you know, she does have this hidden crush on him, and he just doesn't see it because he just not, no. Now, as far as these stairs, they are just too gothy for me for this particular build. So I'm actually going to go with the other flight of stairs, the only other flight of stairs. Actually, they're, no, not going to lie. I take that back. They're the stairs from Pets, the new and modern stairs in black. That's actually better. I like that. And they float more nicely. So we're going to use those instead, although I don't like how they're lining up, so I'm going to actually move this back. Okay, so I took out those two, and it should be just fine. Yes, that's, well, oh, well, now it doesn't want to place the bottom landing. Why not? Oh, I see. I'm willing to bet if I get rid of, I think it's that vent right there. I see what's happening, but that doesn't mean that I can't make it happen. Okay, using cheats, I could have actually moved it out right here, but I just decided to change exactly where the venting went to make it a little more plausible. Now, I am actually not a fan of this flooring. I am currently redesigning my home, and I'm on raw concrete, and trust me, it's not a lot of fun, and it's actually painted very dark gray. So I'm just going to stick with what I currently live with. So that's what they get as far as the ground floor. As far as upper floors, I'm thinking a very nice raw wood, because it just makes more sense for a factory or a warehouse or whatever this is meant to be. In fact, the woods that come with the jocks actually are kind of, I really love those. And I think we're going to just stick with maybe the middle. I think that is what appeals to me for the second level. And on the top level, we're just going to leave it like it is. That's just fine. Legitimately, the more I look at this house, the more I think it's actually it was almost perfect for what it needed to accomplish. And I find myself really surprised. I actually really, really approve of most of the floor plan decisions that Max has made for this particular build. One thing I am going to do, because there's really only this much of living space on the ground floor is I'm actually going to find some living space up here. And so we will divide. Again, this will be Gabe's side, this will be Chastity's side. We're going to have a centrally located bathroom right here and 2 closets here, but this will also be a little bit more of a living area where they can have their friends hang out if they want, in addition to some rooftop party space. And I am going to be changing this because I just feel like that has too much of a fortressy look about it. Not in love, not really. It's totally giving me Beaker vibes and I'm not liking it. Okay, so what I decided would be to use the black trimmed half walls and do this corrugated here. I feel like that kind of enhances the look and takes away from that whole fortressy thing that we've got going on ahead of time. Now it looks much more like a factory or warehouse place. And I do need to decide a particular trim for the top, and I will do that. And I'll use the same stuff that I used for the condo is this railway that I used when I was doing the rooftop hot tubs. And I am still going to finish the other portion of the condo project, but that's a half by half. Now, I actually feel like if they're going to have this up here as a rooftop hangout, that they're probably going to want to use this space. We've got some, oh, not half walls. Let's use full walls. And we're just going to put a tiny little micro bathroom in here so that it is a usable space up here, because why wouldn't I? In fact, legitimately, I feel like I should put another wall right here, and I'm just going to take this one away, but I'm going to keep the flat roof right like it is, because that's going to be a kind of fun place to put a little bit of a barbecue. There we go. So we've got a little bit more usable space right like that. So legitimately, one of the very first builds I did in base game only was actually an apartment building, but of course it was base game only, so it wasn't actually an apartment building. But once we got apartment life, I was so excited because I could convert that building into actual apartments, and I actually created a little spot like this on the top for getting to the top roof. Okay, down here in the garage, I feel like this more ugly industrial wall is definitely the way to go. So that's what I created, because it's not about beauty. Not always. And a clearly missed opportunity is that we are completely ignoring the fact that this is actually a fire escape. So we are going to treat it like a fire escape because it needs to. They need a fire escape. I mean, I get they do. It just, they need a fire escape. Okay, so let's take a final look before we put Chastity and Gabriel back in the place. Now, this of course is meant to be a warehouse or factory of sorts. And with both of them being tinkerers, I really felt like let's lean into the You Got Muscle collection. So that's what I did. Now, the awning that was here was actually the one that came with Bon Voyage. It was thatched, which made absolutely no sense for the build. So I replaced it with the You Got Muscle collection and also added it to these 4 windows to give it a better facade. I replaced the fence, the brick fence that was all the way around that kind of created a fortress look, with a half wall that I papered with a corrugated aluminum, and that definitely also increased the whole industrial look as opposed to the fortress beaker look that it had before. I replaced the wrought iron stairs with these from the Pets because it just looks more like a fire escape, and also replaced this window with a sliding glass door so they have that exit, as it makes more sense for this particular build. So that's what I did with the exterior. I also used this awning on the top deck, so they have a shielded seating area. They've got themselves a little barbecue over here, and over here they have a nice little micro bathroom. Oh, and of course a little telescope for Gabriel. So in addition to the You Got Muscle collection, I also took advantage of quite a bit of the university collection as well as the researcher collection from Castaway, because it blended very nicely with the aesthetic I was going for, which was a bit run down and also offered the colors that I wanted, which was green. So over here we have the Warnable refrigerator from University, as well as the old stove from Castaway, the breakfast bar plus actual bar from the You Got Muscle collection, but not the chairs because I hate them. However, I really do like this coffee table, and I created this coffee table by using 2 of these cogs and 3 different sheets. You have to use the allow 45-degree angle of rotation, the move objects on, as well as snap objects to grid fall. On this side of the room we have the old console TV and a nice picture of a sports car because they like it. And from the kitchen we have 2 doors. One leads out onto the garage where we have our nice old junker car. We also have a very worn sofa and a cinder block bookcase and a robot station and some tinkering clutter. In here we have just a little bit of a powder room, but since tinkering is a dirty hobby, we also have the wall shower. In here we have our staircase, which leads up to the 2nd floor. And as we go out on the 2nd floor, we have a large airy room. We don't have a lot in it currently because, as always, I pretty much ran out of money. But on this side of it, we have our artist side with our ballet bar and easel. And on this side, the more gaming side with the chessboard and dartboard. We do have Gabe's room over here. We've got the Castaway researcher bed and dresser. Now you can't actually put anything on the Castaway dresser, so you do have to use the OMSP collection that I got from my friend Jatan. Nice chair here, bookcase because he is a reader, and both bedrooms actually do have the wall closet. The bathroom is very utilitarian, nothing much to speak of. And Chastity's bedroom is pretty much identical to Gabe's, but it is definitely more feminine. And no bookcase because we haven't got any indication that that's what she loves to do. And I feel like Chastity, from the bio that she has, does harbor a secret crush on him, so she's been trying to maintain a space in his world but not give him any indication that she actually has a crush on him. So she's pursuing other romantic pursuits until he finally notices her. So let's get them in the game. Okay, so our kids have $62,557. It's selling for $61,931. As usual, Come In was spending pretty much enough. And here they are at the factory. Oh, they just fell in love. They did that all by themselves, and I'm not mad. I am not mad. That's great. Well, let's check this out for them. So Gabriel, I need you to sit here just to make sure that you can indeed sit there. Okay, you can. You take a long way around, but it's possible. Nice. Very nice. Oh, they're doing this now pretty autonomously. I mean, they fell in love on their own, so why not? I guess he, it's been a long time coming. They're childhood friends. All right, Chastity, why don't you go open that? Okay, wonderful. Why don't the two of you go check out your car? Work on the body. So there's clearly some reason they can't use it, even though I've placed doors on the pad previously that have never prevented that. So I'm guessing that the doors here are actually problematic. So as long as they're outside, but for some reason they can't actually work on the car in the garage, even though it's never prevented them from using a car before. Okay, I can't even get him to use that bathroom, so I'm guessing that this is a problem. So we'll just get rid of that for now. And why don't you now use the toilet, because you so desperately need to. There we go. All right, and Chastity, how about you continue working on the engine? And you are sparking, girl. Okay, there we go. And why don't you use the toilet? Because I want you to feel pretty. And now, why don't we try for a baby? Because we can. Who needs a double bed when we have a closet? And it's done. They're having a baby. And they were at a negative, and now they have one bolt, and that's without me doing anything with either aspiration or turn-ons and turn-offs. So I feel like these two kids should actually just make go of it. I don't think that they were expecting to fall in love after knowing each other for years, but it looks like these kids were meant to be. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you soon in the pixelated world, and that's all I have to say. VK out.